One of the things that we do in the department is we work to train graduate students to become instructors. And so my role has changed over time. Most recently, I'm part of a fellowship program that we offer in the department where graduate students can apply to be a fellow and then be connected with a faculty person as they develop their skills in teaching. And so I'm one of the people who supervises students as they're learning to teach. So in addition to my teaching, I'm a licensed psychologist and a certified sex therapist. And so my teaching really connects with what I do clinically as well. So one of the classes I teach is counseling skills. And so that's a class where I am helping students develop skills that they would use as they go out in the world to become social workers or marriage and family therapists or maybe psychologists. And that absolutely draws on my own clinical work. The sexuality and gender class that I teach very much connected to my being a certified sex therapist, and so it's helping students understand sexuality from a family perspective and how to use some of the information about sexuality as they think about helping families in one way or another. And then the family psychology class it's kind of a difficult class to describe. It's looking at issues that impact families from a systems perspective. So things like emotion, abuse, sexual orientation, parenting, divorce, rather than looking at how it impacts people individually, looking at each of those issues from a systems perspective. And I think also the whole thing about being a sex therapist, that's something that's relatively new for me. I became certified last year and went back to school a few years ago to do the extra training. And I think it's really exciting for me to be a role model and to show students that you can, learn your whole life. And students are pretty, I think, excited about that. To think about they don't have to make one specific decision about what their career is going to be, that can continue to change. And I love seeing the passion that our students have about issues related to families, and it's really exciting to connect with them about what they feel passionate about. It's what I feel passionate about as well, so I think those are some of the things. Well, it's definitely about all aspects of sexuality and families. I think that sexuality is a topic that is often not talked about. It's a topic that it would be very usual for a marriage and family therapist to refer out a sexuality-related issue to a sex therapist because there's a huge divide in the two fields. Sex therapy and marriage and family therapy are really different fields. And so I feel passionate about and absolutely driven to do what I can to help combine the two fields and to see the ways in which people who want to be marriage and family therapists can have their education informed by knowledge about sexuality. So I feel really passionately about that. Well, I think people ask that a lot. They also ask me that about being a sex therapist. It's like, whoa, what's that? I mean, both are sort of like unknown concepts to people. And I think most people think they know what psychology is. And so I talk about, rather than focusing on the individual, think about all that you know about psychology and think about instead having the group be or the family group being the unit of focus or study. And so it's everything to do with families and how families interact and how families move through time and relationships. All of that is what we do.